Welcome back to Red Raider Weekly. Thanks for watching. Well, baseball is known for its traditions and its superstitions. The Red Raider baseball team with a new tradition. You might have noticed it out at the ballpark. We had a chance to catch up with some of the heavy hitters on the team to find out about this tradition, aptly coined the Lane Frost. Let's take a look.
Our first road trip to Baylor, we watched the movie 8 Seconds, and it's just basically, a bull riding movie. And the way he kind of waved to the fans was just by this motion right here, and we just kind of took it over that weekend, and we did well, obviously, and continued it on. It's for extra base hits and RBIs. That's the only time. So singles, you don't get credit for it, but extra base hits and RBIs, you can do it.
My uncle texted me, he said, what's the deal with the upside down wave? And I was like, I knew what he meant. I don't know. We just call it the Lane Frost, I think is how we refer to it, as the Lane Frost.
Some people didn't know when we got back from Baylor, who weren't there, unfortunately, didn't know when to do it, so they were just doing it all the time. And we had to kind of sit them down, explain the rules and the laws behind the Lane Frost.
I thought it was just you throw it up at a random time whenever we get a base hit or something like that. So when I went to pick up one of the bats one time, I threw it up, and apparently I got chastised pretty hard for it when I got back to the dugout. And I had about 9 different players come up to me and say, hey, this is exactly when we do it. And I was like, oh, thanks for telling me now.
Everybody called Reed Lane, and I never understood. Didn't know who Lane Frost was. And then it all started coming together after seeing Lane Frost and then seeing Reed Redmond sitting right in front of me. So everything started coming together.
Barrett kind of calls me Lane all the time, and he thinks he's a cowboy, so he thinks he's the best at it, so we're just going to let him go with that.
His character's kind of the same, and we always say he looked like Lane Frost, and he kind of acts like Lane Frost. Barrett just started calling him that, and it's just kind of stuck with him.
Everyone wants to be like Reed, so kind of named it after him.
After I met his dad, and his dad told me about all the rodeo stuff they like to do, and I took a closer look at him, and I decided to call him Lane Frost, and it just stuck from there. Reed can start in anything he wants to do. Reed can do it all.
He's definitely Hollywood material.
I think at first everyone kind of did it as a joke and kind of just everybody would laugh about it, but as it kept catching on and as we kept getting big hits and started playing better, we just kind of adopted it, and I think it's definitely brought us together.
It's Lane Frost. That's not a joke.
It can bring a team a lot closer, and it kind of gets your rallies going. Once you want to be that guy that gets the hit to do it, and then once you get it, then you just keep going. And it seems like you don't want to be the guy that doesn't get it done, so you want to keep going with it. And I feel like it does help, as a team, to get everything going.
Oh yeah, I think it really brings the team together. It keeps everyone excited because you don't want to be that one guy on the bench who misses when everyone stands up and does it.
If we can kind of start getting something to catch on and get the whole crowd into it. After the games, a lot of the fans ask, what are we doing out there? And then we kind of explain the story, and then they're pretty excited about it. They kind of want to get into it too, so hopefully it'll start catching on. Obviously, if we're doing it a lot in the game, that means we're doing well, and we're scoring runs, hitting home runs and doubles. So, the more we do it, the more we're coming together, so hopefully we get to do it a lot more in the future.
I don't have my cowboy hat on, so it's kind of hard, but it's kind of just something like that.
Coming up after the break, head coach Todd Petty and star player Elizabeth Hewlett. It's inside the Texas Tech women's tennis program. More Red Raider Weekly coming up.